And welcome. Hey, good morning, guys. This is Jody, Sedrick, and Rod Puzey. And, of course, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Levi Gates.
Yeah, you guys are in my house now.
We are in your house, and we are honored to be in your house.
This is fun. We're actually going live in the Rag Company podcast studio, which is
different from us because usually it's the crappy Zenware studio.
It's all right. That's all right.
The
It
iPhone
helps.
on the iPad.
That's all right. That's all right. We've had to do a couple YouTube lives this way, where we literally we had some technical issues and we had to go live with the phone and the iPad and just kind of like, oh, okay, I hope everyone's watching. I hope they're doing all right.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
fun
sometimes it's just like
sometimes
blind man feeling through the dark.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we'll figure this out as we go.
Well, and it's hard too because like Tim, our editor and producer, he usually has everything running, ready to go, and he's like, "All right, guys, get in there and get going. I got it all set up." And then as soon as he gets ready to push the live button, like everything just stops.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And it's like, okay, that didn't work. So it gets a little. It's like, and it's one of those law of averages. Like it's just gonna go wrong. That's all there's.
We had one. I don't even remember who it was, but right in the middle of the live feed, his phone rang, and he's like, "Hold on just a second."
That was
Hello?
Bill Quinn.
This is Bill Quinn. and he answered a customer call live on the thing.
Nice.
It was awesome. It was.
Oh, that's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, and the thing is, you talk about getting prepared. Last week, Ivan and I actually did a dry run right before, and then once we got on, the audio wasn't as clear as we'd hoped,
and there was like 3 or 4 times you had to start and stop again, and it's just that's how it goes. But that's the fun part about it. That means that we're all humans. We're all doing the normal.
We are dedefinitely humans.
We're just working.
We're more human.
And I think that's what, to me, one of the exciting things about the era in which we live, because we can do so many things real time. We can really create a social interaction with each other, both on a business. And I think, when I look back 15 years ago, it was almost scripted.
Right.
Hey, let me call you. I'm dialing for dollars. Would you like to do business with me?
Yeah.
Whereas now we can have a talk about the industry and what we're doing, what they're doing, and how we can help each other. And I think it's elevated everybody's game.
Yeah, and I think that's the funnest. And I think back to that too. Like 15 years ago, there wasn't anything like this.
No.
We didn't have any little programs, any audio, any radio shows, any video show, like TV shows or anything like that had to do anything with detailing or the automotive industry, or maybe guys that are doing the exact same job you're doing, and you get to listen to them talk about how they do their job.
Yeah.
That didn't exist. And I remember thinking, like, anytime there was any bit of, like, I remember it was 2008, and I was working, and I was listening to the Adam Carolla podcast, and it was right when it was brand new. Like, he had just gotten fired from the radio station, and they literally started, like, the next week, they started doing the same show as a podcast. And his buddy Donnie was like, this is going to be great. You're going to have a lot of fun with this. And listening to the podcast, and he brought on a guy that sold detailing products, and they started talking about detailing. And I remember that was the very first time I'd ever heard anybody talk about anything that I actually like I had firsthand knowledge of. It was like, well, that's my skill set. Like, because you'd listen to like home improvement shows, or Car Talk was like the closest thing you could get, was listening to people talk about their car. And I remember thinking 2004, 2005, like I should email the Car Talk guys and let them know like I could be available for some tips and tricks. But now I go, oh my gosh, I didn't know anything. Like, from what I know now, I didn't know anything at 25, than what I have at 39. Like, so it's not only us that are growing and learning more, but the industry and the technology is allowing us to provide all that kind of insight. And it's not even, I joke that, like, I have other detailers locally here and other detailer friends of mine that I joke that I'm still that 17-year-old kid in my dad's driveway washing cars. Yeah. Like, I'm working on my dad's truck right now. Like, he just got a new 2012 Ridgeline, new to him. But I'm working on it, and I remember the first time I held a polisher was when I was 15, 16, and I was holding a rotary, a Milwaukee rotary, that he had that was from the early 70s, big 20-pound beast. Yeah. And he had taught me how to wash out oxidation off of single stage paint using Ajax or Comet
Nice.
to remove heavy oxidation.
Yeah.
And he was like, this is the easiest way. You remove it, and then you can polish it out. And I was like, oh, that's really great. And then I had his black 85 Supra sitting there, and he was like, you should wash the Supra for me, because that was my chore as a kid, was I had to wash the family cars. And so I started washing it, and I thought, I'm going to use Ajax to get some of this oxide. Not thinking that it was clear coat. I didn't realize.
Yeah.
And I didn't know the difference back then. So I was like, oh, I'll just do that. And he came home and he saw it, and he was like, what'd you do to my car? And I was like, I washed it with Ajax. And he's like, what? Why would you do that? And I was like, well, because he showed me. I did it on the truck the other day. Look how good that looks. And then I started polishing it out. And he was like, okay, now we're going to teach you how to get scratches out of black paint and clear.
Black Supra.
And so that was the first time. And here I am, 25 years later, and I've got my dad's black truck sitting here with what looked like Brillo pad scratches all over it from the previous owners, but I'm trying to correct all that out. And I was thinking about that because it was literally last night that I was working on the passenger side, and I was like, that was a weird deja vu moment of the first time running a polisher to now this time, and at this exact moment running a machine that I built, because I was using my Rupes 15 that I built at Rupes. And I'm like, it's so crazy where my journey has gone, but also where the industry has gone to what we're able to do. Because I thought I should just go live and talk about it on Facebook because I can.
Right. But I think I think everybody's in that stage. Everybody's somewhere in their learning process of whatever they're doing. Whether it's, Jody and I looking at here today, you guys' video compared to ours.
Sweet.
We have these funky pieces of fabric over our light so it doesn't glare off my bald head, literally in the office, versus where you guys are. And it's a different point in time for everybody, right? And we'll be able to look back at that and laugh at it,
Well, it was us.
Yeah. And I think the same way, and that's one of the things I like about what we're doing with the Mafia Memoirs and the detailing industry, because you can watch some guy that's 30 years that's in, somewhere in upstate New York versus somebody that just started out in California, and everybody can learn from the other person.
Yeah.
Your area is different. Your services are different. What you rely on in the winter is different. I mean, like a Scott Mesha, what he does in the winter versus what Justin Lobato does.
Oh, totally different.
Justin puts on a sweater, and, Scott puts on 14 parkas. And,
tries to keep his shop keeps the water from freezing inside going into the shop.
Yeah, and everybody can
that's
learn
what he's got to
from
contend
that,
with.
So, there's not just one way of doing anything. So that's what I think is nice about the medium that we have, to where we reach a bunch of people all the time.
Well, the thing that's fascinating to me is how it's affected the DIY market as well as the industry in general, right? Because I think a lot of people, there are a lot of closet DIY guys that wanted to learn, and they were trying to figure it out themselves, and they were ruining their cars or whatever.
Right.
And now to have a platform where they can watch somebody like you or Mike Phillips or Rennie Doyle or whoever, or the what's the guy's name? The scratch guy, the wizard.
Jason Kilmer.
Jason Kilmer,
Yeah.
Thank you. I don't know why I pulled a blank on that. But, to have all of these guys that are just sharing their knowledge.
Yeah.
I think for a long time, a lot of people were afraid to share that knowledge with them. It's like, I'm guarding my secret sauce. And what's really happening is that as you're sharing your story and your experience, it's actually elevating everybody. Both the DIY guys, because they're buying product now. They're engaging with the rag company, getting the microfiber towels, getting the right product now. And you guys are educating them so that they can take care. And so they're actually becoming more of a part of the industry than just being a customer of the industry, in my perspective.
Yeah. No, and that is another thing that changes also the dynamic of what detailing used to be. Like Rennie always says, like, it's out of the shadows. It's in the mainstream now. When we were detailers back then, like, people dropped their car off, you polished it out, and you gave it back to them.
Yeah.
And they never asked, wow, how'd you get that out? Every once in a while they'd be like, man, it looks good. I knew it needed a buff. That was the term.
Yeah.
It just needed a buff. They didn't know that maybe we did 3 steps on it. They didn't know if it was an all-in-one. They didn't know if it was just a coat of wax. Like to them, it was just all encompassing. It was a buff. And now the terms paint correction, 4 steps, 3 steps, 2 steps, 1 step, all in ones, glazes, compounds, like everybody, like your typical customer now knows, courtesy of YouTube, courtesy of all the different forums, because they can do research now.
Right.
They can hear a friend of theirs, and for me, I will say that I think it was the Tesla owners groups that started to try and push that market. So when the first Teslas came out, they were all on a forum because it was the first car that had that much technology in it, and the first kind of offering to a group of people that were forum savvy, were internet savvy, were technologically like proficient. So they would get in these groups, they would start talking to each other, and they'd talk about either simple car guy stuff, mods. But like Rod and I, old school hot rodders, it's a different kind of, you go to the car show to talk about that stuff. It was only recently that I start checking forums to go like, oh, I wonder what that guy did to his car. Like it was, you'd go to the car show to find that out. Or you would go to a hot rod shop and talk to somebody else and go, what'd you guys do here? Oh, this is what I did. It wasn't a forum post on our build progression.
Yeah, it was a lot more difficult to get information. And that's one of the things that I really appreciate about today. Years ago, you just had to go, like you said, talk to your local dude, and whatever he said is what you did.
Yep. It was the same with detailing.
Yeah, adjusting valves on a small block. It always had to be running, and always had to have this. And now you go out on the forums, and I was like, no, you can do it a different way totally, and it's so much easier, and the knowledge can pass that fast. So you find out about a new product, and it's good and bad. I mean, the thing about it is I think it's elevated the quality of products. Because if something sucks, you're going to hear about it really fast.
Yeah, and now it's stressful. Because that is a fear. Launching a new product or launching it is like, gosh, I hope everybody loves it.
Yeah, and
I hope no one says anything bad about it.
The one that I still am amazed that there's still so much confusion and just angst about is ceramic coatings.
Yeah.
You can go find out about ceramic coatings online, and to somebody that's in the industry, it's pretty easy to look at that. I watched one yesterday where a guy, and I will not say the brand, but he was claiming, oh no, this is something, it won't wash off. This ceramic coating is a permanent. And I was like, don't say the word permanent. Don't say the word. And I'm like, you are the person selling this product, and you are spreading the misconceptions about ceramic coatings. It is not a permanent solution.
and in the right environment, it might be. But how many different, like we said, Scott Masha in Maine, Justin Lobato in Florida. How many two different climates in the same country?
Phoenix, Arizona.
Right. Phoenix, Arizona is totally different.
Phoenix versus
the care.
Scottsdale.
They're
really, really close. Scottsdale, Arizona is like Boise, Idaho. It's snow, and then you go to Phoenix, and it's actually
pure desert.
The
It's
seventh
hell.
layer of hell, and it's 10,000 degrees at 2:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah, and so it's, but it like you're right. You don't know how the person's going to wash it. Yep. You don't know how they're going to care for it. You don't even know, is that car going to be garaged its whole life? Is it going to be, covered in a carport?
And as soon as they hit it with the polisher, oh, this is permanent. Whee, and now it's
it's gone.
I went through the paint. What happened?
So it is just one of those things. But it is the advent of the availability of that knowledge for people to do their own research. And I noticed in my shop, people would come in and go, so I want to get a paint correction done. I wasn't using paint correction, that term, in my shop. And they just say that. And they'd call and go, I want to schedule a paint correction. I go, ooh, okay.
Do you understand what that is?
So you know what we're talking about.
Right, yeah.
And they'd go, yep, exactly. And I said, all right, this is what my pricing runs at, but I don't really talk about it till I see it. And they're like, okay, not a problem. And it was the first time I had a gal literally use my a la carte menu ordering on my website and called me up and said, I want to do this,
Wow.
all on my car. And I said, okay, this is the price. This is the total. And she goes, uh-huh. She goes, I've been watching. She goes, I was literally going on your page and seeing what that was. And then I was going on YouTube and Googling that on YouTube to see what videos were those, to see if it was something I wanted or not.
Yeah.
No, and I was like,
that's awesome.
Cool. Thank you. Like it made it easier because I was all of a sudden, that was a very expensive detail that I received. And I was like, well, that just paid for the website itself for putting all that a la carte ordering, all that stuff. But it was the fact that she did that research. So I got a better educated customer to utilize my services.
Yeah, and I think in the past people have been afraid of an educated customer because they've always felt like they would challenge them every step along the way. And what I think everybody's finding is that a better educated customer actually enables you to give better service because the expectation is more in line with what you're going to deliver to the customer.
Well, and it goes back to like I mean, this is simple and easy, but like I'm telling you guys, I got an air conditioner coming next week for my house.
Right.
You call and get bids. You don't just call the first person in the phone book and get it sent to your house. Right. And so you get your 3 bids or 2 bids or 4 bids or whatever, however many bids for whatever job you're doing. I mean, the insurance companies, when you wreck your car, ask you to get 3 bids from 3 different body shops.
Yeah.
So you can figure out how much it's going to be. It's the same kind of dynamic, in the sense that, like, I get the 3 bids from the different air conditioning companies. They give me 3 different options. They didn't give me the same option.
Right.
They gave me different air conditioners, different sizes, different prices, so that I can then go, oh, well, the last guy said this. Why are you telling me to do it this way? Or why are you, showing me, why is your way better? And then you learn, and you're like, oh, okay. And now, coming out of it, I picked the one I want, and I feel fairly comfortable that I made a very educated decision based on the information that I was given.
Right.
So I'm able to call them back and go, yep, I'm ready to go. I want to get this done. And also I want to make sure we're going to do this, this, and this. And they're like, yeah, no problem. Perfect. Instead of me just going, it's broke. I need you to fix it. Here's a check.
Right. Well, and I think it helps us to not get scammed, if you will.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole idea that I can go out online and I can research something, and so that the person isn't coming going, oh, air conditioning equals this much money, and you're like, well, wait a minute, it's just the condenser that's out. Right?
Yeah, right.
Before that, you just would have said, oh, okay, air conditioner's out.
Right.
Here's 10 grand, go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's the same thing with cars and with detailing in general. As people watch that, I mean, I think it's kind of neutral. We all joke about being YouTube certified, but we all do it. I mean,
everybody does it. I do it for washing machines, dryers, like
anything on the market. You go and look at. You're like, who, I don't know of anybody that just blindly goes and buys something. Now you go out and look at stuff. So it's helped a lot. I think it has helped with products because products don't take hours. The products only take hours to release. Mm-hmm. You could release a new product at the rag company, and within hours it's out on the internet, and everybody knows about it, and you've got a blog on it, and we're watching a video on it. Whereas before it took this,
you trickle.
You released it, you sent it to your distributors, you let them know, they decided whether or not they wanted to order it, they put it on their trucks, and then they brought it to you at the shop, and it may have been 6 to 8 weeks that it just came out.
I think that one of the things that I find really exciting as I've watched you and the rag company grow is I think a lot of times in the past we have viewed a vendor or a supplier as a supplier company.
Yeah.
And you guys really are a media company and a supplier company.
Yeah.
And I think that is a really important thing because we live in a day and age where an educated customers are expecting to be educated. And it's in part because of teams like you and Anthony and Dane that are putting out such phenomenal content that people are engaging. They're wanting to soak in as much information as they can, and they're able to make a better decision. And I think you'll admit it, and I know that Jeff does as well. The real catapult to your company, to the rag company, of being such a key player in the market and having just phenomenal products and personality is because you built a media company around educating people, not to just sell, but to really honestly let me educate you and help you in what you're doing.
Well, and credit where credit's due, that went to Dane. Because as the first employee of the rag company, he was the one stuck in the garage. And folks, it literally was a 2-car garage, and Dane would sit in there in a heated garage, not an unheated garage, with a space heater at his feet. And he built the website. He answered the phones. He packed the packages for the first few months. And one thing he noticed on the emails and customer service questions was he was like, can I make a video literally just explaining some of the basics of the main emails I get? And for Dane, that's what he went to school for. To come back and his parents go, "You're going to work in our garage selling towels." That for him,
That's
he's
not
like,
sexy.
he's like, "That's not what I want to do with my life. Like,
Right.
that's not what I went to school for. That's not what are you kidding me?"
Yeah.
But a dutiful son he is, and did it. But for him, it was an idea of just like, how can I make this fun for me and help the company
the
itself
customer
and
and
help
the-
the customer. And because Dane is a very empathetic person. Like he is the reason we have a core belief of like we try to help everybody, and a big portion of that is the way that Jeff and Carolyn raised him.
Right.
And so Dane has always wanted to help others to understand. And even to this day, whether you talk to him on Reddit, you talk to him on Facebook or Instagram or anything like that, he really wants to make sure that he's had a good conversation with you about it, and you're very understanding about it. So he made that first video, and that was it. And then we started bringing on chemicals, and Jeff was like, "We need to do some of those videos with the chemicals that we're selling with the Optimum line." And Dane was like, "Okay, but I'm not a detailer. I don't know how to do that stuff. I can do the video, but I can't. I can talk the microfiber, but we need a
need some
detailer."
help. I need an expert. Right?
Yeah, and I was a customer of theirs buying towels from them. And that was how they approached me and said, "Hey, can we use your shop? Can we shoot some videos? We'll give you some free product. If you just let us use your shop, if you want to be in the video, that would be even better. But we'd love to use your shop as like a backdrop." And I said, "Yeah, why not?" Like, I really liked Dane and Jeff and Carolyn and the whole Rag Company team at the time. And it was very small. There was only about 5 of them here, not in this building, but at the old location. And so that's how we started. And it was literally just Jeff saying, "Here's Dane's 2 videos that he made. Here's what we want to make. And we're going to try our best to make them, but we want to give basically a how-to use this product so everybody can buy it. And this way we can refer it, because we're not detailers, and Jeff and Carolyn, the owners, they're not detailers. And they said, we want to be able to, this way we can refer to something. Plus we can watch the videos and learn on something.
Exactly.
And we can help everybody. And there's not many companies that come into that dynamic that feel that way or do that thing.
Yeah.
And we started, guys, if you're wondering, what's crazy is we literally used kids from Capitol High School, from the AV club, to come to my shop after hours for extra credit. And we borrowed a ton of AV equipment from Capitol High School because we needed more cameras. Dane had 1 camera and like 1 microphone. We needed a couple extra mics. We needed a couple extra cameras running. We needed just help. And so we offered extra credit with the teacher. And so the teacher, the AV teacher came, and he helped, and he's like, "Hey, guys, we're going to run this little set." I mean, the kids
got great experience,
Yeah,
right?
they got to do something. They're like, "Whoa, we're going to go make
Something
some videos."
real,
something real instead of,
Yeah.
making a yearbook video.
My Hello
Yeah.
World website. You
But
know?
that's the education aspect, and I think that's one of the most unique parts of the Rag Company, is when you guys offer an educational course, whether it's Jason Kilmer, or you've got Bob and Rennie in here, or you got Flex in here, or whoever you bring in,
Rupez or anybody.
Rupez, you'll fill a room.
Yeah.
And yes, it's related to every obvious product we're wiping off with microfiber towels. But the point is you guys are offering that as an educational experience for somebody that doesn't necessarily, you're not pushing yourself.
Right.
And I think that's the best part about that, is you're just educating the public, and that's great. I mean,
Well, and for me, the biggest thing was, as a detailer, the only person I had to talk to about detailing was Tom Smith, Buff Bright, and MVP Distributing. He was my guy. He was my mentor and ran he was the guy that I would ask questions to. He'd roll up every Monday afternoon at 3:00 and open the door of his truck. He had candy, and he was my guy on the truck. And I would go, "Hey, what do you got new this week?" Or, "I'm having a problem with this product. I can't get it to finish down. I can't get this to happen. What am I doing wrong?" Tom would come out there and he'd help. And there were times I go to his place at night and we'd work on something and just try and problem solve. And when ceramic coatings came out, it was Tom that I leaned heavily on, because Tom was also like, "I've never heard of, I don't know how to do this stuff either. Let's figure it out." And so we did, and we did a lot of that. And I used him a lot for, to be able to do that stuff. And being here, and all of a sudden, having access and us going to Mobile Tech with you guys that first year, 3 years ago, and being able to meet everybody and actually connect with all these different folks, that sparked something in me to where I looked at Jeff and I said, we need to be able to invite all these people, because we invited Ivan LaCroix had come.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
the first person. He saw what we were
Yeah,
doing
we
and
were
said,
there.
yeah.
Yep.
And he was the first person to see it and goes, I'm going to come be part of your training and I want to help you on the videos. So graciously, and it worked out great because we were selling Optima products. But he was the first one that actually took an interest in what we were doing and said, yeah, I want to be a part of that. But it was the fact that all of a sudden I went from having just a guy on a truck to ask questions to I have literally everybody in the industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys know it just as well as I do, how easy and open and honest everybody is in the industry. All the heads of the different companies.
Yes.
It's not hard to talk to Michael Stoops at McGuire's.
No.
It's not hard to talk to Bob Eichelberg of Flex. It's not hard to talk to Chip at Rupes. Like, they are very honest, open gentlemen that are ready to talk to you and are excited about it. And that for me was, I go, oh my gosh, I have access. And I've just always been that guy. If I'm climbing the ladder and you're climbing it with me, I'm going to help you up.
Yeah.
I'm going to help you. We're going to get to the top of this thing. And so that's part of how I feel with the trainings, with the events, with the videos, with the YouTube, with the podcasts, all that stuff, is that I have the chance to bring everybody up the ladder with me.
Yeah.
And
Well, and it's
I
like
can't
Jeff
just-
says,
can't
high
keep
tide raises all ships, right?
Yeah, yep.
So, and you see that. It's like it is a core philosophy of the Rag Company that we are going to educate and we're going to help everybody in the industry. And I think that's one of the main reasons so many people are attracted to the team here.
yeah,
I mean, I like just driving over here. I mean, we're convenient enough. We're 5 miles away that we can come over. And it's, from my perspective, when we came over here years ago and first talked to you about Mobile Tech Expo, and you guys had one little room, right?
Yeah.
Now you're taking over that building and then 2 more buildings. And
yeah,
it's just really fun to see not only your growth, but the impact that you're having on the industry as a whole.
yeah.
And it's just, to me, it's really exciting. So you guys have the podcast.
Yep.
And what else? You have DeTalks.
We have our YouTube channel with so we have the Rag Company YouTube, we have the Rag Company YouTube podcast channel, and then we have the podcast itself on iTunes. And under the Rag Company YouTube channel, we have DeTalks, we have Details with Levi, we have Wash Wednesday, we have Details with Morgan, or Morgan Learns Detailing, I should say, and then we have our list videos. We have some of our basic, like what we call What's in Store, and product videos. And so the goal of the shows with DeTalks was a detailing talk show. It happened because we had the junk man in, and I was like, we've already done a ton of how-to stuff with the junk man. We don't have much, so what if we just went through, and Dane was like, what if we did some questions? And we do it like short podcast style.
Yep.
Quick hits. And so we said, all right. And we just sat and started it out as a conversation between him and myself, between a DIYer and a professional. That evolved into, okay, now it's just a show, and we're asking questions and talking about products and things, and again, quick 10-minute bites of information that you can garner, whether it's washing, whether it's rinseless washing, whether it's differences in sanding blocks, differences in foam, differences in how to run your business, why you need SEO, why you need media, anything, how to be a dad, like how to try and mix family time and wanting to build an empire. So DeTalks was that, but Detailing Talk Show is what that stood for. Details with Levi is just the professional version, basically what I do. I'm going to show you how to use it. I'm going to show you how I do it quick enough to hopefully make you money. Wash Wednesday, Anthony did as, I'm going to teach people how to wash their cars. You probably never washed your car before, or maybe you do. I'm going to teach you something different, but you're also going to have a cool car, and we're going to take it for a drive afterwards and try and appeal to everybody.
Yeah.
And then Morgan Learns Detailing. Morgan McMurray, great girl that works for us, and she isn't technically a full-fledged detailer. She's been a hobbyist. We're going to turn her into a top-level detailer. and I'm going to show her how we do stuff. And Anthony's going to use his information. I'm going to use mine, and we're going to try and give her the best education we possibly can in learning how to detail, so that those people, so whether you come to us as a professional, whether you come to us as an experienced DIYer, or you have just bought your first brand new car and you want to learn how to take care of it and you don't know anything about detailing, we've got you covered. And coincidentally, it also works because generationally, again, guys, we don't plan this. It just happens.
Yeah.
I'm 39. Anthony's 29. Morgan's 20. So there's that 10-year gap between the three of us as we go through. So some days I feel like the old man in the group.
Until we come in.
Until you guys come in.
Until
and then
I walk in
instantly
with
I'm,
all the why.
much younger looking. But
there you go.
but it's that. It's being able to appeal to all genres, all levels of detailing, skill levels, and hopefully just across the board as a human.
Yeah.
You know. And so those are the reasons we do that. And then we have our live videos, which is our main show podcast, which is literally the four of us hanging out, talking about our weekends. Usually we have a topic of, something we want to talk about. Our live Q&A is 3 hours or 2 hours live on YouTube, on our podcast, usually on our Rag Company page on YouTube. And it is your chance to ask us anything. Full Q&A. You can ask questions about products, about detailing, about what our trips are like. You can ask anything, and we do our best to answer and give you the best question possible, basically, or the best answer possible. The biggest thing, though, is that there's not a lot of companies that will literally just go live for 2 hours and say, ask us anything.
No.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think that is, again, it's the openness. Years ago, it used to be that there was like these, you got to hide everything, and there's, product, and there's always product secrets, but it's like, we don't want to say anything about our stuff.
Yeah, everybody was Secret
Our
Sauce
stuff's great,
Club.
buy it. Just it's the best stuff, get it. And nowadays, it's different. I mean, if you talk to Jeff I could talk to Jeff for 3 hours about the different qualities of the microfiber towels and what origin they came from.
He'll geek out on you.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's fun.
Because you look at one, he's like, well, you see how fluffy that is, and this one's not. Yeah, this one isn't as fluffy. Well, they're the same this and the same that. And you're like, okay.
Yeah, and that's just boils down to the weave and the way the towel is constructed. But it's, and that's what's fun is like, we always joke that we're the potatoes of the group at a detailing. We're the potatoes. There's nothing fancy. It's a baked potato. Or it's mashed potatoes.
Right.
Yeah, we can throw some garlic. Yeah, we can throw some chives. Yeah, we can throw some cheese on top and some butter and stuff. But it's still potatoes.
Yeah.
The steakhouse and the steak and the wine that you're pairing it with or the beer, whatever it is, that's what everybody wants to be. And that's what everybody focuses on in detailing.
Yeah.
We're just some potatoes on the side. Comes with a baked potato. All right, whatever.
But you gotta have that staple.
But people go, but how many restaurants do you walk into and you go to order a steak and they're like, okay, here's a steak and some asparagus. And you're like, is there no potato? Can I get a potato on the side? Can I get
some rice pilaf?
Everybody asks. And they're like, I thought, but there's no potato? Everybody asks because they need it.
Yeah.
Because it should be there. And it's just like towels.
Yep,
you have to have them.
Yeah.
Like the towel technically will do more work because the towel has the capability to destroy all the work that you just did.
Yeah.
The towel has the capability to slow you down. The towel has the capability, if you're using poor stuff, to really mess up your day.
Right, and you can't do anything without it. I mean,
but you need it.
You gotta have it.
Because what are you going to wipe the compound off with? Another pad?
Yeah.
No. Are you going to wipe it off with are you going to be able to absorb it? You're going to use a chamois for half the stuff you're doing, interior work? No.
Old underwear.
Yeah.
I saw that
baby
on YouTube.
diapers.
Old underwear.
Yeah. But that's so it is funny, but it's the first time that nobody ever did that. Nobody ever. I guess he's way like nobody created a media channel out of their company. I mean, you could argue Larry Casilla and some of the others have done smaller videos and bigger videos to kind of get us on the forefront of it, but no company created a media arm for the sake of doing this.
Right.
We didn't plan on it. It just happened.
No, and you guys have taken it to such a high level with the Infinity Room and
again,
everything.
No towel company needs 3 Infinity Studios, but we do.
Yeah,
we have it.
Right.
But it's because we use them and we do stuff with them. But we've also found a way to symbiotically live with them.
Right.
you
Right.
know?
But I don't think there's any other towel company that has. I mean, I'm going to go out on a limb here, but I might be a little biased. But you guys have some of the coolest personalities of anybody as well. Even down to the company dog has got a cool personality. And
Yeah.
so I think that's different. Is there's a lot of people out there that are just selling towels, right?
Yeah,
and that's okay. They can sustain, but that's not the way to do it, I guess.
But that hits on a very important thing. I think a lot of people are trying to be somebody else. They look at their detail shop and they go, "Oh, I got to do it exactly their way," instead of bringing their own personality, their own style, and saying, "Look, this is the way I do business, and this is how I can best serve you." And I think that's really what's made you unique.
Well, and that again goes right back to Jeff and Carolyn. They have always spent their years in corporate America. They bought a towel company from a little old lady who was in hospice, and they looked at it as, well, this is going to be our chance to run a business the way we've always wanted a business to be run.
Right.
After being in corporate America for so many years. And so they joke, they don't hire for a job. They hire the person. And it's usually because there is a need, but it's never, man, if we had a systems integration expert, let's start looking for folks who are systems integration experts. No,
right. They look for a person.
They look for a fit.
They look for a fit for the person and go, have you ever tried doing this? And they're like, yeah, I could do that. And it's like, all right, well, let's see, because we really like you and we think we can make it work. You know, like we've got a media guy, Nate, who we hired him to help with the website. Well, one thing Nate came to us has said, I got a degree in graphic design. I'm a hobby photographer. Bart, who runs our photography, who has a photography studio with the infinity rooms, I really like following what he's doing and stuff, and so I can ask him questions and stuff. And he's been one of my closest friends for 10 years. So I was like, I think Nate could be our guy to fit in this hole that we need, where we need someone. He's got web experience, web building experience. He's got media. He knows how to handle himself around cameras and microphones and stuff. He could do that if we needed in a pinch, but he's also funny and hilarious to work with. And so they met with him and said, all right, we're going to hire you, have you do website stuff. Well, now he takes photos of all our products, and he has changed the level of just our product photos to where he's doing things that none of us ever thought we could have done. And Jeff's like, oh my gosh, the colors are so vivid that you folded the towels to look like, how did you do that? He's like, oh, I just some photography stuff to make it look like this and do it in this way, and totally changed it. Yeah. And gone is him doing, and then because he's a graphic designer, he's doing all of our logos for our web ads and stuff, for all our sales and stuff. And he changed our logos for our buckets and things of that. And like Nate is coming to his own, where he is our graphic designer. He does all our graphic work and all our photo work, and he comes down and take some really cool shots of us while we're working on stuff. Yeah. And it's like, but you know what? In a pinch, he's the one working on the website, helping Stacy and helping Thomas doing stuff. But we didn't plan to go.
That's the thing Jody and I talked about.
I hope he takes good photos.
Yeah. If the three of us sat down and said, let's plan out a perfect business that'll succeed and make millions. That's not going to happen.
Nope.
And we always talked about, if you're planning for, and then we'll do this and we'll do this and then we'll exit, that's a failure to start with.
Yep.
You have to just go into it. Like, one of the most successful videos we ever did was a customer called us and said, if you can show me a video of your product, RoadFS, scanning, and I think it was like 40
he wanted to do 30 cars, at least 30 cars in an hour.
And I said, the only way we're going to do this, let's just set up some cars out in the parking lot. We'll unlock them.
Yeah.
And I went through, it's 2 minutes
4
and
and
30
2.5
seconds,
minutes.
and I did like 4 cars in 2.5 minutes. Do the math. At the time, 1 million people viewed that thing. I said, Jody, I think that we need to start pushing this thing, because we didn't plan.
Yeah.
I mean, this was just for a customer. Hey, Bob, here you go. Here's the video. Yep. And now it's like, holy crap, we got to start doing more of this stuff, because people want to see it. They want to understand how that works.
Well, and it goes back to like what you guys, I always heard the rumors of PDR guys that were like oil field dudes. They could go work for 4 months out of the year and make $1 million chasing tornadoes.
Right.
And I remember always going like, that's crazy. Like, I don't get it. And then I meet you guys, and you guys are like, no, we met those dudes.
Oh, yeah, no, I went with them for 2
and that's
weeks.
what we developed a program to help them. Like,
Yeah.
and it was like, wait, what? That's real? I
Yeah.
didn't know that was real. Like, but it was, you know, there's things that like, that you guys do to make people's lives easier. And
Yeah,
it's something that nobody ever thought of.
Yeah, and
Like, that's what, in all the years that I ran my detail shop, like, I never thought of a program like RoadFS.
well, and we're kind of back to that potatoes
Yeah.
mentality. We are potatoes.
Yeah.
You know, we're the green beans that go with alongside the potatoes. It's not sexy, but it's a core piece of your business
Yeah.
that you really need to have. And what's really fun is, you know, because we get the guys from one guy's shop to a guy that has
Yeah.
ARGP has over 100 techs in the field using our software, and it's just really fun because you get, I was on a call yesterday trying to literally get somebody off of the old school paper and Excel, and I'm like, look, if you just listen to me give me 15 minutes, and I'll show you why you need to come up with a standard pricing list.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Don't create a pricing list for every single customer and name them ABC customer full detail,
Yeah.
CDE customer full detail. Right? No. Let's pare it down to one, and then I can help you better manage that. And I think that's really key. Is there are so many little nuances that you can add into your business that can really elevate them. And I like what you said. There are people. I think a lot of times we try to shoehorn a person into our company
Yeah.
instead of leveraging their natural gifts.
Yeah.
And that's what I see you guys doing really well. Is I have a guy that's really naturally a natural photographer, or a graphics guy, or a camera guy, or I have a guy that's just a gal that can code a website. And so rather
Well, that's
than
like
trying
Stacy. She came on as a packer.
exactly.
We didn't know she had coding experience. We didn't know that's what she did on the side was build websites.
Right.
So move
So-
people into their natural
Yeah.
fit, and it will elevate your
Yep.
team and your company. So, and I know we've spent a little long. I know
That's
you
all right.
have a
You're good,
busy
man.
day today. We could keep going for
Oh,
an
we
hour,
could.
and
Easy.
I
think we've almost an hour.
yeah,
We're pretty
I just
close.
I appreciate you guys your time. Thank you very much. Guys, if you don't know the Rag Company, I don't know where you've been living,
Yeah,
but
I don't know either, man. We're trying to get everybody.
they're trying to get everybody. So, but yeah, definitely make sure that you reach out to Levi, Dane, or Anthony. Check them out on YouTube, their podcast, DeTalks. I mean, if you can't find them, you probably don't have the internet.
Yeah, I would hope not.
So, well,
But
thank
yeah,
you very
thanks,
much,
man.
man. We appreciate you
No,
taking the
it's-
time. So,
I love you guys, and what people don't know is we've shared a home together for many occasions, and I love hanging out with Rod and Jody. They are so much fun. From the first day we went to Mobile Tech to now, like, I cannot believe the journey that this
Yeah.
whole thing has been
yeah,
for
it's been
for
fun.
all of us. So,
well, thank you, man.
thank
We
you for
appreciate
having
it.
me. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
You guys have
Hope
a
you
great
guys enjoy
day.
it.
Yeah, thank you for joining us for another episode of Mafia Memoirs. Remember we do these every Thursday, 10 o'clock, and make sure you tune in next week. So have a great one.
See ya.
See you
See
later.
ya. That was super fun. It's nice having a studio to do this.
Yeah, makes it easy.
So,
Oh my gosh.
all right, you're late. I'm late,
What time
and
is it?
it's like 11:20.
You
Yeah.
gotta get your stuff behind
So-
you here.
Thank you very much, man.
We just thank you guys.
We appreciate you. Hopefully, we didn't